We welcome all the YouTube viewers to today's Nityananda Yoga session. We're going to perform the Prathama Vignyasa Krama 108 asana sequence as revealed by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Let us all sit down in a comfortable cross-leg position with our head, neck and spine in a straight line. Place your hands in the Atmanjali Mudra in front of your heart center. Take a deep breath. Visualize Swamiji as we chant the Satguru Vandanam.
Nityanandam Paramasukhadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadrisham Tattvamasyaadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami.
Next, we will be chanting the Shiva Mula mantra, Om Ham Haum Shivaya Namaha, 11 times internally.
Om Ham Haum Shivaya Namaha. 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 Om Ham Haum Shivaya Namaha.
Next, we will perform the Tattva Achamanam, the ritualistic cleansing. Now, keep your right hand in the Gokarna Mudra in the shape of a cow's ear, and then take an odurni of water from the Panchapatram, pour it into your right palm. Each time the word Swadha is chanted, sip the water from the bottom of your palm and take an odurni of water and pour it into your palm.
Om Atmatattvam Shodhayami Swadha. Om Vidyatattvam Shodhayami
your left eye, your right ear, and your left ear. Wash your hand again. With the little finger and thumb joined together, touch your navel, your right chest, and your left chest. With the tips of all the fingers joined together, touch the crown of your head, your right shoulder, your left shoulder, and your heart center. Wash your hand again. Now place your right hand on top of the left and place both hands on top of the right thigh. Set your sankalpa, your conscious resolution, what you want to manifest in today's Nithyananda Yoga session as we chant the
ॐ ममोपात्त समस्त दुरिदक्षयद्वारा भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव प्रीत्यर्थम श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी परमशिव शक्ति समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परमशिव प्रीत्यर्थम च अद्य पूर्वोक्त एवं गुण विशेषेण विशिष्टायाम् अस्यां शुभतिथौ पूर्ण आरोग्ययुक्त दृढ़गात्र यौगिक शरीर सिद्ध्यर्थम परमशिव शक्ति आविष्करणार्थम नित्यानंद योगाभ्यासं करिष्ये.
Now wash your hand once more.
ओम अप उपस्पृश्य.
Now keep your Panchapatram and Adani aside, out of harm's way, and let us safely enter into the yoga practice with the first asana of the sequence, which is Sukhasana. Now sit in a comfortable cross-legged position with your head, neck and spine in a straight line. Bring your index fingers and thumbs together into Bindu Mudra and place them on top of the respective knees. Engage all three bandhas, the Mula Bandha, the root lock, contracting your perineal region and pulling it up. The Uddiyana Bandha, the stomach lock, contracting your stomach muscles above and below the navel and pulling your stomach in and up towards your spine. And the Jalandhara Bandha, the throat lock, tucking your chin down to the chest and locking your throat internally, together forming Mahamudra Bandha. Now visualize Lord Shiva in your inner space. Form the Samana Kumbhaka as you inhale deeply into your stomach and hold your breath, visualizing a flame rising up your spine from your stomach region, and internally chant the japa Soham. With all those components, let's perform Sukhasana.
तत्सुखासनमित्युक्तम् अशक्तस्तत्समाचरेत्.
Next up is Parvatasana. Now, place your legs into Padmasana by placing the feet on top of the opposite thighs. Then join your hands together in Anjali Mudra and raise them up above your head. Engage all three bandhas as you visualize yourself as Mount Kailash.
क्षे महादेव पर्वतासन मंगलम.
Next up is Halipavasana. Now join the palms, the soles of the feet together in front of your body as you interlock your hands behind your back and lean forward and down, placing your forehead on the ground behind the heels. Engage all three bandhas, gaze to your nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
पूर्व विधियाहु में जानो उभय पगतली संपुट ठानो.
Next up is Nagipavasana. Now keep the soles of the feet together in front as you cup your palms and extend your arms out in front of the feet as you place your forehead on the ground behind the heels. Gaze to your nose, engage your Ati bandhas as you visualize yourself as a snake.
पूर्व विधि पर्यागाने नीचो हो वी कहू निफनास्यो लगाई.
Next up is Kokilasana. Now hold the big toes with index and middle fingers in Prana Mudra. Extend your legs forward and up as you then cross them into Padmasana. Lean forward and down onto your elbows. Engage all three bandhas and visualize yourself as a bird.
अथान्यदासनं वक्षे येन सिद्धो भवे नरः.
Next up is Nityananda. Now stack your knees and ankles as you hold on to opposite elbows and start rotating your arms in a circle as you engage all three bandhas. Gaze to your nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space. After some time, change the direction of the movement.
थोड़ा बावां पादगी आश माहिली सोय दक्ष चरण को वारलवता परिगुल्भ समोज.
Next up is Gajasana, the elephant posture. Now place your hands flat on the ground, shoulder width apart, as you raise your hips up high. Scoop your body forward and down again and again, while visualizing yourself as an elephant, as you engage Uddiyana Bandha, the stomach lock, and Mula Bandha, the root lock.
निब्जं पादाग्रे भूमौ कृत्वा लम्बी भुजा मस्तकाग्रे निधाय.
Next up is Vrikshasana. From the same position, alternate, pressing the heel of one foot into the ground while lifting the other heel up. Visualize yourself as a bear as you perform Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha.
एकैकं पादमाकुञ्च गजासनं कुर्यात् वृक्षासनं भवति.
Next up is Vaishyasana. Now stand tall on the tips of the big toes with all other toes raised off the ground if you can. Keep your index, middle and ring fingers joined together at the heart center in Hridaya Mudra as you engage Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
केशेन पादयुगलं बद्ध्वा तिष्ठेत अधोमुखः.
Next up is Urdhva Janukarana. Now stand in Arimandi position with the heels touching, the toes pointing outwards and the knees bent, and bring your hands towards your chest. As you then raise up one knee towards the center of the body, complete the circular motion as you follow along with the respective hand on both sides again and again. Next up is Palalingasana. Now interlace your fingers from the outside in and hold onto one knee as you pull it up towards your chest. Keep your spine straight. Engage all three bandhas as you visualize yourself holding a baby.
एकं जानु उरसि आलिङ्ग्य स्थातव्यं बाललिङ्गनं भवति.
Next asana is Padapidanasana. As you take one foot and pull it behind towards your buttocks, hold it with both hands. Keep your head, neck and spine in a straight line. Engage all three bandhas as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
स्थित्वैकस्मिन् पादतले कराभ्यां वेष्टयेत् तनुम्.
Next up is Natarajasana. Now hold on to the sole of one foot from the inside. Extend the foot back and up while leaning forward with the arm extended forward. Hand in Bindu Mudra. Visualize yourself as Lord Nataraja in Natarajasana.
उत्तानपादं जमजामि.
Stand on the other leg on the other side.
आलिङ्ग्य स्थातव्यं बाललिङ्गनं भवति.
Now pull the other foot towards the buttocks as you repeat Padapidanasana on the other side.
स्थित्वैकस्मिन् पादतले कराभ्यां वेष्टयेत् तनुम्.
Now repeat Natarajasana on the other side as you hold onto the sole of the other foot and lean forward while visualizing yourself as Lord Nataraja.
उत्तानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकम्.
Next up is Ardha Rechitakarana. From Arimandi, with the heels together, toes pointing outwards and the knees bent. Bring the right foot behind the left with the toes down and the heel up. Keep your left hand at the chest. Extend the opposite arm out. Swing it back and forth like a pendulum. Gracefully move your fingers one by one as you place your hand over top of the nose, uncross your ankles and repeat the movement on the other side. Next up is the skeleton dance. Now, visualize yourself as a skeleton as you shake your body intensely. Visualize your bone structure and dance wildly. Hold the visualization as best as possible. Next up is Karana from Arimandi position. Cross your arms above your head and open your arms and hips to one side, return to the center, and then open them to the other side again and again. Next up is Tadasana. Now stand tall on the tips of the big toes as you keep your hands extended straight above your head. Engage all the bandhas and visualize yourself as a palm tree. Engage all the bandhas and internally chant Shivoham in Tadasana.
महामुद्राबद्ध कोनो ताड़ासन विभेदकान.
Next up is Uttanasana. From a standing position, lean forward and down as you bring your hands flat on the ground. Engage all the bandhas and bring your forehead towards the knees. As you visualize Swamiji in your inner space, engage all the bandhas.
महामुद्राबद्ध कोनो ताड़ासन विभेदकान.
Next up is hard plank position. Tuck your chin to the chest. Engage the Mula Bandha and start rotating your head from side to side. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Internally chant Shivoham.
गजासनवस्थित्वा मस्तकं वारं वारं दक्षिणकुक्षिं सव्यकुक्षिं नजेत् तरक्ष्वासनं भवति.
I bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasadashiva. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam.
We are back. Let us continue with the next asana of the sequence, which is Bhujangasana. Now lower your body down onto your stomach. Keep the toes pointing backwards and your hands next to your chest, flat on the ground. Now raise your head up using the strength of your lower back as you open your mouth widely and inhale through your throat in Bhujangani Mudra, exhaling through your nose. Visualize yourself as a cobra as you perform the Mula Bandha in Bhujangasana.
अंगुष्ठनाभिपर्यन्तम् अधोभूमौ विनिन्यसेत्.
Next up is Shashasana. Now push your body off the mat into plank position and alternate bringing one knee in towards your chest back and forth. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Breathe calmly through your nose in Sahadra Kumbhaka as you perform the Mula Bandha.
गजासन संस्थितो जानुद्वयमाकुञ्च वारं वारं कर्तव्यं शिशासनं भवति.
Next up is Rathasana. From the tall plank position, step your foot in between the two hands. Jump the front foot backward as you exchange the position of your hands and of your feet. As you visualize yourself as a chariot, perform the Mula Bandha.
गजासन संस्थितो एकैकं पादं पुरोमार्गेण भ्रामयित्वा कर्तव्यं रथासनं भवति.
Now rise up into Virabhadrasana. As you keep the front foot flat, toes pointing forwards and the knee bent at a 90-degree angle, extend the other leg straight, toes pointing outwards, knee straight. Now raise your arms up parallel above your head. Engage Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha. Gaze to your third eye and visualize yourself as Lord Virabhadra.
वासिष्ठमथ कौण्डिन्यम् ऊर्ध्वकुक्कुटमेव च.
Now exchange the position of your feet and repeat Virabhadrasana on the other side.
वासिष्ठमथ कौण्डिन्यम् ऊर्ध्वकुक्कुटमेव च.
The next asana is Vrikshasana. Now stand tall and bring one foot to the inner thigh. Bring your palms together in Anjali Mudra and raise them up above your head with the elbows straight. Pull your stomach in and up, contract the perineal region and visualize yourself as a tree.
वामोरुमूलदेशे च याम्यं पादं निधायतु.
Up is Garudasana. Now bring the right foot to the opposite hip as you join your palms together in Namaskara Mudra in front of your heart center. Visualize yourself as Lord Garuda in Garudasana.
गरुडासनमावक्षे येन ध्यानं स्थिरं भवेत्.
Now repeat Vrikshasana, the tree posture on the other side, as you balance on one leg with your arms extended above your head.
वामोरुमूलदेशे च याम्यं पादं निधायतु.
Now bring the right foot to the opposite hip. Join your hands in front of the heart center and visualize yourself as Lord Garuda in Garudasana on the other side.
गरुडासनमावक्षे येन ध्यानं स्थिरं भवेत्.
Next up is Trikonasana. Step one leg forward and the other one far back. Front toes pointing forwards, back toes facing sideways. Extend your arms up parallel to the ground and lean forward and down. Bring one hand to the ground, the other hand pointing up. As you gaze up towards the sky, visualize yourself as a triangle and perform the Mula Bandha.
उत्तानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकम्.
Now exchange the position of your feet. Bring your arms parallel. Lean forward and down. Repeat Trikonasana on the other side.
उत्तानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकम्.
Next up is the Nikutaka Karana. Standing in Adimandi, heels together, toes pointing outwards and knees bent. Raise one heel off the ground and bring your hands in front of your heart center, palms facing each other. As you stump the raised heel to the ground, raise the other heel up and exchange the position of your hands again and again. The next asana is Angushtasana. Now lower your body onto the tips of the toes as you place your perineum onto the back of the raised heels. Raise your knees off the ground and bring them together as you join your hands together in Namaskara Mudra in front of your heart center. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space as you start buzzing like a bee in Brahmari Kumbhaka on the inhalation and exhalation. Perform the Mula Bandha and internally chant the new japa Sada Shivoham.
कबन्धासनमित्याहुः गोरक्षासनमेव च.
Next up is Saurasana. From Angushtasana, extend one leg forward with the heel down, toes pointing up. Keep your hands at the side, palms facing forward in Vara Mudra, fingers just touching the mat. As you visualize Swamiji in your inner space, perform the Mula Bandha.
प्रसार्य एकं पादतलं संस्थाप्य त्वेकपादकम्.
Next up is Vidhunanasana. From Saurasana, lean forward and down, hold onto the big toe of the front foot and hold the back heel with the other hand if you can, balancing in this posture. As you visualize, perform the Mula Bandha.
गुल्फस्थितो पादमेकं प्रसार्य तत्पादाग्रं संस्पृश्य तत्करेण.
Now exchange the position of your legs. Extend the other leg forward as you repeat Saurasana on the other side. Next, lean forward and down, hold onto the foot and the back heel as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
गुल्फस्थितो पादमेकं प्रसार्य तत्पादाग्रं संस्पृश्य तत्करेण.
The next asana is Brahmajarankushasana. As you keep the toes on the ground, heels raised, perineum on the raised heels, keep a gap between your knees and place the back of your hands on top of the knees. Now perform the Mula Bandha and the Jalandhara Bandha as you gaze in between the two hands in Shambhavi Mudra, eyes open wide, unblinking, gazing within as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
दो फणा पानी हो वैसे एड़ी दो गुदानी वैसे.
Next up is Kapilasana. Now place your knees on the ground with the toes tucked behind, sitting your perineum down on the heels. Rest your hands on top of the thighs. Pull your stomach in and up, contract the perineal region. Gaze to your nose and visualize yourself as sage Kapila Muni.
उभय पगतली समटारावे तिनकी माहिली को और मिलावे.
Next up is Patala Godakasana. Maintaining the same posture, shift your gaze to the third eye, visualize Swamiji and perform the Mula Bandha.
दो पगतली संपुट करे गौरवारली भूपरि धरे.
Next up is Suryasana. Sit as you lift your knees off the ground, bring them wide apart, little fingers, and open up your palms, resembling a lotus flower in Padma Mudra. As you perform Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha and visualize Lord Surya in your inner space.
एड़ी दो गुदा तरियाने फना पानी बैठक बुनिठाने.
Next up is Mandukasana. Now sit with the toes flat, perineum on the heels, keep your hands on the knees. Lift your tongue up against the roof of your mouth in Manduki Mudra as you visualize yourself as a frog. Gaze to your third eye, breathe calmly through your nose in Sahaja Kumbhaka and perform the Mula Bandha.
पाद तलो पृष्ठ देशे अंगुष्टे द्वे च संस्पृशेत्.
Next up is Uttana Mandukasana. Maintain the same sitting posture. Bring your hands behind your back and hold on to opposite shoulders as you keep the elbows close to your head. As you perform the Manduki Mudra with your tongue, gaze to your third eye as a frog. Perform Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha in Uttana Mandukasana.
मंडूकासन मध्यस्थं गुरुपराभ्यां धृतं शिरः.
Next, ankles and sit on the feet. Keep your knees wide, fingers spread on top. Open your mouth wide, stick out your tongue and exhale forcefully. As you visualize yourself as a lion, gaze to your nose and perform the Mula Bandha.
दक्षिणं सव्यगुल्फेन दक्षिणेन ततेतरम्.
Next up is Bhadrasana. As you sit with the heels under the perineum, the knees open wide, cross your hands behind your back and hold onto the big toes in Prana Mudra. Apply Jalandhara Bandha and Mula Bandha. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space and return to buzzing like a bee in Brahmari Kumbhaka.
गुल्फौ च प्रशन्नस्याधो व्युत्क्रमेण समाहितः.
Next up is Kaka Bhushandi Asana. As you squat and keep the feet flat on the ground, the knees raised and opened wide, bring your arms in and around the raised knees, interlace your fingers behind your back in Parashva Mudra. As you gaze to the nose and visualize yourself as a crow.
प्रथमे वेशक उकटठाने दोवो हाथ.
Next up is Kanipavasana. Now place your hands on the ground, shoulder width apart. Bring your knees onto your arms towards your armpits. As you lean forward and down, balance on your arms and lift your feet off the ground. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space and perform the Mula Bandha.
आसन को गुण आशी दुष्टा होई तो आची होई.
The next asana is Kapali Asana. We're going to enter the first inverted posture. So, if you have any spine injuries or high blood pressure, take it slow with this asana. You can use the support of a wall if needed. Set yourself up. As you place your hands flat on the ground, shoulder width apart, bring the crown of your head to the mat. Bring your knees to the elbows, align your hips with the shoulders, and then extend your legs up straight. Balance in this posture as you gaze to the nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
इसी शीशा धरती टेकी पगदो वो मिलिबा ऊंचा कुकरे.
The next asana is Parshvamayurasana. Now squat on your toes with the legs together, twist your body and place both hands to one side. Align your elbows with the knee and hip, lean onto your arms and balance as you extend the legs out to the side. Gaze to your third eye, visualize yourself as a peacock. Exhale fully and hold your breath each time in each of your breathing cycles. In Rijaka Kumbhaka, perform the Mula Bandha in Parshvamayurasana.
मायूरम दंडवत कुर्यान मायूरम दंड नामकम.
Now twist your body to the other side, balance on your arms with the legs extended. As you visualize yourself as a peacock in Parshvamayurasana on the other side.
मयूरम दंडवत कुर्यान मायूरम दंड नामकम.
Next up is Bhairaganathasana. As you place both hands on the ground, shoulder width apart, stretch your legs back straight into Tadasvasana and then step one foot outside the respective shoulder in between the two hands. Gaze to your third eye and visualize yourself as Lord Kala Bhairava in Bhairaganathasana.
आसन को गुण पीति जागी.
Now step the front foot backwards and the other foot outside the shoulder in between the hands. Gaze up, visualize yourself as Lord Kala Bhairava. Perform Rijaka Kumbhaka in Bhairaganathasana on the other side.
आसन को गुण पीति जाई.
Return to Tadasvasana. As you place your forearms on the ground, walk your feet slightly forward and raise your hips. As you gaze to your third eye and visualize Swamiji in your inner space in Ummakapitasana.
भून्यस्तौ जाननी हस्तौ चतुष्पदम वाङ्मुखम.
Next up is Vasishthasana. From Tadasvasana, rotate your body onto one arm. Extend the other arm up straight. Gaze up. Visualize yourself as Sage Vasishtha as you perform the Mula Bandha.
वासिष्ठमथ कौंडिन्यम ऊर्ध्वकुक्कुटमेव च.
Rotate your body into the other direction. Raise the other arm up. Repeat Vasishthasana on the other side.
ऊर्ध्वकुक्कुट वासिष्ठम मरीचिहल मत्स्यकम.
Next up is now sit with the legs extended forward. Place your hands below your buttocks with the palms facing up. As you gaze to the nose, visualize yourself as Lord Hanuman and perform Jalandhara Bandha and Mula Bandha while internally chanting Mahasadashivoham in Anjani Asana.
दोबू करके उभय हथेली कोरवारली में ले भेली.
Next up is Paschimottanasana. Now, from the same position, lean forward and down, hold on to the big toes in Prana Mudra with index and middle fingers. Engage all three bandhas, Mahamudra Bandha, as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
तानु परिललाटन्तु पश्चिमं तानमुच्यते.
Next up is Ugrasana. With your legs extended forward, interlock your fingers behind your neck and lean forward and down as you bring your elbows outside the knees and your head as close to the knee as possible. Visualize Kali in your inner space as you perform all three bandhas in Ugrasana.
पाणिभ्यां दृढं धृत्वा जानोपरि शिरोन्यसेत्.
Next up is Marichyasana. As you sit with the legs extended, bring one heel to the groin with the knee raised. Reach your arm in and around the raised knee. As you clasp your hands behind your back, bring the chest to the thighs, head to the knee, and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
उत्तानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकम्.
From Marichyasana, drop the knee to the ground. Keep the heel against the perineum as you lean forward and down. Hold onto the front foot with both hands, keeping the knee straight. Exhaling fully. Engaging all three bandhas. Gaze to the nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space in Mahamudrasana.
महामुद्रां प्रवक्ष्यामि तन्त्रेऽस्मिन् मम वल्लभे.
Next up is Marichyasana on the other side. Bring the opposite heel to the groin, leg extended, knee raised. Interlock your hands behind your back as you lean forward and down, visualizing yourself as Sage Marichi.
उत्तानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकम्.
Now drop the knee to the ground, keep the heel at the groin as you lean forward, hold onto the front foot. Gaze to your nose, perform all three bandhas as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space in Mahamudrasana on the other side.
महामुद्रां प्रवक्ष्यामि तन्त्रेऽस्मिन् मम वल्लभे.
Next up is Bhadrasana 2. Now sit and bring the soles of the feet together with the heels close to your perineum. Keep your knees wide, hold the feet firmly as you maintain a straight spine. Gaze to your third eye and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
विभौतवृषणस्यादः सीवन्त्याः पार्श्वयोः क्षिपेत्.
Next up is Kvali-Pavasana. From Bhadrasana, extend your feet away from the body. Keep your toes together, heels apart, knees open, hands on the knees as you tuck your chin to the chest and gaze to your nose, visualizing Swamiji in your inner space as you perform Jalandhara Bandha and Mula Bandha.
पूर्व चरपट चौक कक्षो सोजी वाही विधि जो कीजे सोई.
Now sit and keep the soles of the feet together as you keep the heels close to your perineum. Visualize Yoni Mandala, the visual representation of Devi Paramashiva Shakti herself. As you hold onto the soles of the feet, lean forward and down as you bring your forehead to the feet and gaze to your nose.
दोबो बगदली संपट करे सोले मेड आगामी धरे.
Next up is Milaki Pavasana. As you sit and keep the heels together, toes apart, feet extended away from the body, stretch your arms out to the side and lean forward and down. Place your hands on the mat and your forehead on the ground behind the heels. Gaze to the nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
पूरव विधि परिपगतली संपुट शोल एडी मिली राशे.
Next up is Siddha Samadhi Asana. As you sit and keep the toes together, heels apart, bring your arms below the shins, extend them out, and keep your palms facing up. Bring your forehead to the ground, above the feet, bring the toes to your throat if you can. Gaze to your nose and visualize Surya in your inner space.
दोवु पगतली संपुट करे 16 मेड आगा में झरे.
Next up is Chinaki Pavasana. As you sit and keep the heels together, toes apart, hold the feet and open them up like a book. As you press your elbows down onto your thighs, pushing your knees to the mat, gaze to your nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
दो पगा की एड़ी धरती मगिवा मेढ़ लगावे.
Next up is Chadvata Chukasana. Now sit and bring the soles of the feet together with the heels at your perineum. Place your hands on the respective knees and gently push them down towards the mat. Engage Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha. Gaze to your third eye and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
दोवु पगतली संपुट धारे आगा ने कर जा रे पसारे.
Next up is Bhairavasana. Now sit and bring the soles of the feet together with the knees raised, with the knees placed on the ground, the heels raised, toes pointing down. Twist your feet. You can use the support of your hands. Otherwise, place your hands on top of the knees in Bindu Mudra. Gaze to your third eye. Visualize yourself as Lord Kala Bhairava as you perform Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha.
गुल्भौ संपीड्य जान्योन्यं विक्रमेणोत्थितं शनैः.
Is Samanasana. As you sit with one heel at the perineum, pull the sole of the other foot towards your chest. Gaze to your third eye. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Perform the Mula Bandha.
समावक्षे सिद्धमंत्रादि साधनात्.
Next up is Abhanasana. Now place one leg over top of the respective shoulder and extend the other leg straight up, keeping the hands at the side as you perform the Mula Bandha and gaze to your third eye, visualizing Swamiji in your inner space.
केवलं पादमेकञ्च स्कन्धे चारोपे यत्नतः.
Next up is Samanasana on the other side. Pull the other heel against the perineum, opposite sole towards your chest. Gaze to your third eye, visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
समानासनमावक्षे सिद्धमंत्रादि साधनात्.
Bring the other leg over top of the respective shoulder and extend the opposite foot straight out and up. Place your hands on the mat. Gaze to your nose, gaze to your third eye, and perform the Mula Bandha in Abhanasana on the other side.
केवलं पादमेकञ्च स्कन्धे चारोपे.
Asana is Gomukhasana. Body with the heels close to your hips. Gaze to your nose. Visualize the face of a cow. Breathe and sit Kari Kumbhaka, hissing through your teeth as you press your tongue up against the palate of your mouth without touching the teeth from the inside. Internally chant the japa Om Nithyanandoham.
सव्ये दक्षिणगुल्फं तु पृष्ठपार्श्वे नियोजयेत्.
Now hold on to the big toes in Prana Mudra as you gaze to the nose and visualize yourself as Rishika Anasuya. Perform Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha in Anasuyasana.
दक्षिण गोडो नीचे उठाने, बाहों ताके ऊपर आने.
Now interlace your fingers behind your back, lean forward and down, bring your chin over the knee, nose to the ground as close as possible. As you gaze to your nose and visualize yourself as Rishika Anasuya in Anasuyasana.
जीमणा गोदा की संधि, उपरिड़ा वा गोड़ा की संधि.
Next up is Garudasana 2. Now sit on the ground with one heel pressed against your perineum, the other foot flat on the ground, knee raised towards your chest. Place your hand on top of the knees as you gaze to the nose and visualize yourself as Lord Garuda in Garudasana 2.
डाबो पगमोड़ी एडी माहिलो गुल्फमूल द्वारनी चाहिए.
Next up is Naradasana. Now raise your perineum onto the heel. Interlock your fingers behind your neck, elbows outside of the raised knee. Gaze to your third eye. Visualize yourself as Sage Narada as you perform Naradasana.
विष्टिजुवाम पगदली केरी भूपरिता ही लगावे फेरी.
Next up is Matsya Pitakasana. Now place one foot on top of the opposite thigh as you wrap the respective arm around the knee, holding onto the opposite shin. Hold onto the big toe in Prana Mudra with the other hand as you gaze to the tail of the fish avatar.
केवलं पादमेकञ्च स्कन्धे चारोपि यत्नतः.
Next up is Gomukhasana on the other side. Stack your knees, place your hands on top with the heels at the hip, gaze to the nose and visualize the face of a cow.
वे दक्षिणगुल्फं तु पृष्ठपार्श्वे नियोजयेत्.
Next up is Anasuyasana on the other side. Hold onto the feet, gaze to the nose, engage Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha while visualizing yourself as Rishika Anasuya.
दक्षिण गोडो नीचे उठाने, बाहों ताके ऊपर आने.
Now interlace your fingers behind your back and lean forward and down, repeating Anasuyasana too.
जीमणा गोदा की संधि, उपरिड़ा वागोड़ा की संधि.
Now sit on the ground with the other heel against the perineum, opposite, foot flat, knee raised to the chest, hands on the knees, visualizing yourself as Lord Garuda in Garudasana too.
वो पगमोड़ी येड़ी माहिलो गुल्फमूल द्वार नीचे दे.
Now sit with the perineum on the heel as you interlock your fingers behind your neck, twist your elbows outside the raised knee, and visualize yourself as such Narada in Naradasana on the other side.
पिष्ठिजुवाम पगदली केरी भूपरिता ही लगावे फेरी.
Now repeat Matsya Pitakasana on the other side. Bring the other foot over top of the thigh and hold on to the big toe and the shin as you gaze to the nose and visualize Matsya, the fish avatar of Lord Vishnu.
वामेन वामाङ्गुष्ठं तु गृहीतं मत्स्यपीठकम्.
Next up is Matsyendrasana. Extend your feet out straight as you bring the other foot on top of the opposite thigh. And now raise the knee, place the foot flat, and twist your elbow outside of the raised knee, bringing the hand to the neck. Place the other hand on the ground behind you as you gaze to your third eye and visualize Sage Matsyendranath, the master of Hatha Yoga.
उदरं पश्चिमाभासं कृत्वा तिष्ठति यत्नतः.
Matsyendrasana. Extend the front, hold Prana Mudra, and hold your ear with the other hand as you gaze to your third eye and visualize yourself as a camel in Kubasana.
आसन को गुण झोलो जाए.
Now keep the front arm at the foot and place the back hand down on the ground behind you. Twist your body even further as you gaze to your third eye and visualize Matsyendranath, the great sage and master of Hatha Yoga, in Matsyendrasana too.
मत्स्येन्द्रपीठं जठर प्रदीप्तिं प्रचण्ड रुक्मण्डल खण्डनास्त्रम्.
Now exchange the position of your legs. Place the other foot on the opposite thigh, raise the opposite knee, twist your elbow outside of the raised knee, hand by the neck. As you gaze backwards and up, visualizing Sage Matsyendranath in Matsyendrasana.
उदरं पश्चिमाभासं कृत्वा तिष्ठति यत्नतः.
Now place the front arm to the foot, the back hand to the ear, as you visualize yourself as a camel in Kubasana on the other side.
आसन को गुण झोलो जाए.
Now place the back hand down to the mat, twist your body even further as you repeat Matsyendrasana too on the other side.
मत्स्येन्द्रपीठं जठर प्रदीप्तिं प्रचण्ड रुक्मण्डल खण्डनास्त्रम्.
Now place your feet on top of the opposite thighs in Padmasana. As you place your palms down on the respective knees, engage all three bandhas as you gaze to your nose. Visualize yourself as Lord Shiva. Breathe in Sitali Kumbhaka. Press your tongue against the back of the teeth and hiss through your teeth while inhaling, exhaling through the nose. Perform Mahamudra Bandha, all three bandhas engaged, as you internally chant Om Nithyananda Mahasadaशिवोऽहम्.
आसनं द्विविधं प्रोक्तं पद्मं वज्रासनं तथा.
Maintain Padmasana as you cross your arms in front of the body, hold onto the big toes in Prana Mudra, gaze to your nose, visualize yourself as Goddess Parvati, the consort of Lord Shiva, as you keep breathing in Sitali Kumbhaka and perform the Mula Bandha in Padmasana too.
उत्तानौ चरणौ कृत्वा संस्थाप्योपरि जानुनोः.
Next up is Kukkutasana. As you sit and place your feet on top of the opposite thighs, place your palms on the ground in between the two thighs. Lift your body up off the mat while visualizing yourself as a rooster.
पद्मासनं सुसंस्थाप्य नान्वोरोरन्तरेकरौ.
Next up is Badhakikyasana. From Padmasana, rise up onto the knees and place your palms on the ground, fingers pointing backwards. Now keep the elbows at the navel, lean onto your arms and lift the knees off the mat, balancing on your hands as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space and calmly breathe through your nose in Sahadra Kumbhaka.
धरामवष्टभिकरद्वयेन तत्कोर्परि स्थापितानाभिपार्श्वः.
Next up is Mayurasana. From your knees, place your palms on the ground, fingers pointing towards your body. Keep your elbows at the navel and lean forward until you find balance, then extend your legs off the mat. Visualize yourself as a peacock as you perform the Mula Bandha.
अथ पक्षे महादेव मयूरासनमुत्तमम्.
Next up is Makarasana. Now lay down on your stomach, keep the toes pointing outwards and interlace your fingers behind your neck. Visualize yourself as a crocodile as you perform the Mula Bandha.
अध्यासशेते हृदयं निधाय भूमौ च पादौ च प्रसार्यमानौ.
Next up is Shalabhasana. Laying on your stomach, place the hands next to your chest and lift your legs up completely off the mat. As you visualize yourself as a locust, perform the Mula Bandha.
अध्यासशेते करयुग्मवक्षौ भूमिमष्टभ्यकरयोस्तलाभ्याम्.
Next up is Ushtrasana. As you lay down on your stomach, bring your hands to the feet and pull your feet down towards the ground outside of the hips. Visualize yourself as a camel as you engage the Mula Bandha.
अध्यासशेते पदयुग्मव्यस्तं पृष्ठे निधायापि धृतं कराभ्याम्.
Next up is Dhanurasana. Holding onto the feet, kick the feet back and up while you raise your chest off the mat. Gaze to your third eye. Visualize yourself as Pinaka, Lord Shiva's bow, as you perform the Mula Bandha.
प्रसार्य पादौ भुजदण्डरूपौ करौ च पृष्ठे धृतपादयुग्मम्.
Now come to a kneeling sitting position. Place your perineum in between the heels as you touch your toes behind your back. Hands on top of the knees. Gaze to your third eye. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space as you perform the Mula Bandha and internally chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivam in Bhagasana.
उल्टा मोड़ी पादौ वैसे बहरो जुगत करे एक ऐसे.
Now setting up for another inverted posture. So take precautions. Set yourself up in front of a wall if you need the support. Now from the knees, place your forearms on the ground. Fingers interlocked, elbows shoulder width apart. Place the crown of your head onto the mat, supported with your hands as you walk your feet forward until your hips align with the shoulders, and then jump your feet up. Pull the knees in towards your chest as close as you can. Try to touch your chin. Gaze to the nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space in Gohi Asana.
दो हाथ की कहुनी जोई पुनः कलाई जाने दोई.
Now extend your legs straight up into Shirshasana. Gaze to the nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
विपरीतं मण्डलं च द्विधैव विदितं हिनः.
Gently lower your feet back down and come to a seated position as we are about to enter a sequence of rapid exhalations in Bhastika Kumbhaka, forcefully pushing the air out of your lungs like the bellows of a blacksmith again and again without actively inhaling. Let the air flow back into your lungs naturally. Perform the Mula Bandha and sit with the hands behind the calves, stretch your legs up and bring your forehead towards the knees. As you come to a vertical position with your legs, visualize Swamiji in your inner space in Bodhiasana. Keep exhaling, exhaling, exhaling.
दो हाथ पग बाहर आने, घोड़ा तरे का घसीटाने.
Now, with your legs extended forward at a 45-degree angle, bring your hands behind your back, holding onto opposite shoulders. Gaze to your third eye, visualize yourself as a mace in Parighasana.
उत्तानशयनं कृत्वा पादौ मिलित्वा प्रसार्य.
Now, with your legs extended up, bring your arms parallel to the ground or bring your elbows down if you need. Gaze to your third eye, visualize yourself as a boat in Naukasana as you breathe rapidly.
उत्तानशयनं कुर्पराभ्यां भूमिमष्टभ्याम्.
Next up is Rudrasana, where you sit and lift your feet up, scooping your hands below the heels and pull your feet towards your chest. Gaze to the nose and visualize yourself as Lord Rudra as you keep breathing in Bhastika Kumbhaka.
पगतली संपूर्ण करी हाथस्य पग ऊंचाई.
Now breathe calmly through your nose. Lay down on your back, feet flat on the ground, knees raised, hands with the palms down onto the mat behind the heels. Push your hips off the mat. Engage Mula Bandha and Jalandhara Bandha as you breathe in Murcha Kumbhaka, forcing the air out through your throat lock. As you gaze to the nose, visualize Swamiji in your inner space in Unmukha Pitasana too.
ऊर्ध्वे च जानुनी कृत्वा शवित्वोर्ध्वमुखं तथा.
Now lay down flat on your back in the final asana of the sequence, Shivasana. Now keep your hands at the sides of your hips, palms facing up. As you perform Shakti Chalan Mudra, forcefully pull the Kundalini Shakti up along your spine from Muladhara to Sahasrara as you completely unclutch from any micro movements of your body and mind. Visualize that your body is dead and Swamiji is liberating you. Internally chant the Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramashivam.
उत्तानं शववद्भूमौ शयनं तु शवासनं. शवासनं श्रान्तिहरं चित्तविश्रान्तिकारणम्.
Now slowly return to your physical body. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes, your wrists and your ankles, your elbows and your knees. Pull your knees towards your chest. Walk your body from side to side and slowly return to a comfortable seated position. Congratulations, you completed the Prathama Vignyasa Krama 108 asana sequence. With this, we are going to conclude today's Nithyananda Yoga session. We would like to take this opportunity to remind everyone, Paramashivam level 3 is currently running free of cost instead of the 21k. So we would like to request all of you to join the free sessions, get the blessings, join the darshan, and learn about the cosmic principles. For now, let us close this session with a Purna mantra. Sit straight with the head, neck and spine in a straight line. Place your hands in Namaskara Mudra in front of your heart center. Close your eyes, take a deep breath. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space as we chant the Purna mantra.
ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ तत्सत् सर्वं भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव पादुकार्पणमस्तु ॐ नित्यानन्दम्.
Thank you all. Nithyanandam.
I bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasadashiva. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam